Welcome back to Just Minding My Business. I'm so happy that you joined us today. Our guest today understands that the heart of every successful organization isn't its products, but its people. Kelly Price is a dynamic leader and the passionate founder of Thrive HR. Her journey into the world of people first leadership began with a foundation in hospitality management from Kansas State University, which led her to Marriott International. In that role, she mastered the art of creating memorable experiences, a core value of service, and impact that she has carried over throughout her entire HR career. So, welcome, Kelly. I am so happy to have you here today.
Thanks, Ida. It's so nice to be here.
And a lot of times in most companies, people feel like HR is taboo and they're really not about the employees.
Yeah.
So, how do you make that different?
First thing is that the HR department should be the core of the business. It should be supporting the overall success of the business. And what we do at Thrive HR is help business leaders understand what HR should be doing, which is building a people strategy around the business strategy. So every person in HR should have a full understanding of what the business does, how it makes money. Even if it's a not for profit, you still have to make money to pay the bills and pay the people who are working there and then get the money to the correct places. What are the growth strategies? What are the goals of the organization? And what should we all be caring about to make the organization successful? So, in turn, the people who work there are successful as well. And when you have HR people who truly understand that, it becomes so much easier to create engagement and excitement around what people are doing every single day.
Yes, I agree. And unfortunately, many HR departments that I've been a part of, and I'm sure so many other people as well, don't have always have great experiences because you're dealing with different personalities every day,
Yeah.
and sometimes people in managerial roles have big egos, and that's it's like it's for some reason when people become managers or over top of other people, their ego just blows up, and I don't get it. So how do you not how do you help get rid of that?
Yeah. I think a lot of it is getting into the why of the business. What are we trying to accomplish and understanding from the founder or the CEO and the executive team? What are we even doing here? Because I think that when people don't understand the why and the reason for what they're doing and how to make each other successful, it's very, very easy to get stuck in the I'm very important, I'm very busy, and it's my job just to tell other people what to do instead of saying, this is this goal we're trying to accomplish and we're a team and we do it together. And, you know, Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies. And one of my favorite lines from that movie is when a young man says to the guy who's the captain, he says, attitude reflects leadership. And if leadership acts in a certain way that is disrespectful, unkind, unprofessional, then you can absolutely 100% expect your team to act that very same way because you can't say don't act do as I say, not as I do. It all rolls downhill, as they say. I'm saying that in a nicer way, but it all rolls downhill. And if it doesn't start from the very top, there's really not much HR can do because it's interesting to me too. I see a lot of things that HR is supposed to own the culture of the organization. And while HR can own programs that support the culture of the organization, the culture of the organization is, as they say, what we do, not what it's not what we do, it's what we tolerate. So if we're tolerating disrespectful, unkind, unprofessional, egotistical behavior, then that's your culture. So you really have to get in there and start at the top.
Yes, yes, you do. And a lot of times the top doesn't always see this, because they shield the top from the behavior.
Yes.
So you're
Well,
absolutely
and vice
right.
versa.
Yes.
I've been on an executive team where after I left, one of my managers called me and said, I had no idea what you were shielding us from. And I understand why you kept us so separate for so long because I was trying to keep the toxic culture of the executive team out of my team, and which was the HR team, which then easily would have permeated. It permeates anyway, but I was trying to do everything I can to protect. When you're in that scenario, it's very challenging because you, as the HR person, also are seen as toxic because you can't do anything to change it,
Right.
or it can be very challenging to change it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you work with small businesses, and why do you
Too.
prefer small businesses over larger businesses?
The impact, the ability to make impact is so much greater in the small business. The one of the first projects I ever did as a consultant was with a girlfriend who was the CPO of a hospital system, and they needed a new CRM. Excuse me, not a new CRM, a new HRM. So we were looking at a bunch of different systems, and it was probably a 4 or 5 month project. And we went through, did all the evaluations, looked at multiple systems, selected one, and even 6 months later, after my engagement was long done, they still hadn't signed the documents. They still hadn't implemented it because there's so much red tape to go through. And they had over 10,000 employees. I mean, just absolutely huge organization.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a small business, working with founders, working with owners, even second generation or hired in CEOs who know the reason why the organization was started and the passion behind it, you really can get in there and make a difference to say, what are you trying to accomplish? How do you make money? What are your growth plans? And what can I do to support that? And then you can really create and help them create the dream that they have through the people. So it's so much more fulfilling and exciting, and watching those business owners be successful and making some of the hard stuff a little bit easier. It's still hard because people are hard, but making it a little bit easier and being a partner with them. That's really, really important to me, to be seen as a partner and someone who, I'm just here to make your business more successful and to take some of this really challenging employee stuff off your plate.
Yes, because that is a lot. The employee situation, and as a small business owner, if if you don't have the right person handling that, it could be a disaster. That's for lack of better words.
Absolutely. No, I always say that the founder started the business because they had passion about something, right? They're excited about it. They have an idea. They've got some service that they know they can add a ton of value with. And then they're successful, which is amazing. But then they have employees. And a lot of times they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have no idea what to do. And then they have more employees and more employees. And it becomes very overwhelming because in many situations, they then have 10 or 15 people directly reporting to them. And anybody who's ever been a manager knows that's really too many people to directly have reporting to you if you want to do it really, really well. And just the way that employment law changes very quickly now, and there's many variations even within a state. So even Kansas and Missouri have specific city wide or city specific laws. New York and New York City have different laws. California, counties and cities. It just, I could go on, but there's lots of different things that if you don't know, you don't know, and you don't even know to ask. So engaging an HR partner when you start to grow, and I tend to say like 20 employees, 15, 20 employees. If you're continuing to grow, it's really the point where you should say, really need to talk to somebody who's an expert in this, who can help me figure out what I need to be doing, because there's compliance, there's efficiency, and then there's strategy. So, we come at it from all three of those angles, but we always start with compliance first because you do not want to accidentally bomb your business by
True.
doing something that you didn't even know you were doing wrong and it was so unintentional.
So once so explain how
Excuse me.
your business goes in, Thrive HR goes in, and they help a small business develop HR guidelines. Or
Yes.
okay. So now,
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
okay, I just wanted to be clear on that before I ask this question.
Sure.
So once they have you've done your piece and they feel like they need to hire HR representatives to keep the ball rolling, where does Thrive HR come in with that?
Well, so I'll back up at the beginning of the engagement. So we start every engagement with an audit, and we're going through and looking at those three tiers actually: compliance, operational efficiency, and strategy. And our audits, depending on the size of the organization, are anywhere from 30 to 90 days.
Mhm.
And that's the first engagement. So we go through, ask lots of questions, get all up in the business's business. And we don't mind our business there. We're all up in it. But we're all up in it and deliver a three-tiered report to say from a compliance, operational efficiency, and strategy standpoint, here are the things that you could and should do to improve your business. And that can be the end of the engagement if they have someone who they feel or a group of people who can go and take action on those results. We have 100% conversion rate between audit and post audit work because the reality is if they knew how to do those things they would have already done them.
True.
So yeah, so we typically stay with them at that point for another 6 months to even 3 years. I ended an engagement last year who just total and complete transformation of the business because they really had no HR department. They were a 60-person business, been around for over 100 years. They were on their fifth generation owner and really, really wonderful family business. They were doing lots of things they shouldn't be doing completely unintentionally. So, but we ended up turning over almost the entire organization. After we did that, though, for nearly a year, they had zero turnover. So we created massive, massive change in that organization. So post audit, we can do a couple of things. We can come in and be the integrated partner and do the work and partner with the people who already work in the organization and train them and help them understand and build those processes and get them out into the organization. Or we can hire someone. And we've done both. There are times when we do it for a period of time and then we hire someone and we train them and then we stay on as kind of a offsite manager and mentor to that person and consultant to that person. So we really we're typically in the building, virtually or otherwise, for 6 months to 2 or 3 years. But it takes that long to create change when you're talking about people. It's not an on and off switch. And a lot of times you're creating a lot of change. So I tell clients too, if you're not ready for this, don't do it because it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of things that are really easy and low hanging fruit. But when you get to the really hard part, that's when you know you're doing things that really matter and that are going to fundamentally change your business. And typically it involves getting people to do things they've never done before, see things in a way they've never seen them before, or help them go work somewhere else and get someone in who's going to be a better fit for your organization. So it gets pretty hard. I mean, it's a big change, but we've been really lucky to help some small businesses just thrive post engagement and during our engagement. So it's just been so much fun.
Yes, and I'm like, I've never, um, you're the first person that I've met that does this type of work. And I
Oh,
know,
really?
yes, I know it is difficult. It is so difficult. And I'm just sitting here after you said all of that. I'm just like, oh my God, she has a lot on her plate.
You know what, though? Honestly, the most fun thing about it is being the consultant doing it because I was in corporate HR for a long time and being inside the building and working every day towards this goal and trying to create change. And you have to, in my opinion, my humble opinion, when you're in HR, you have to drink the Kool-Aid of that organization. If you don't, you will fail. You have to believe in what they're doing. You have to believe in the leadership. You have to, even if you disagree, you have to row the boat in the same direction. And when you're the consultant, it's more fun, again, in my humble opinion, because they're paying me to tell them the truth. And if you're in that seat permanently, it's much harder to say, I need to say something to you that you don't want to hear. And it's going to be hard. And you're probably going to be mad at me. You can do it, but it is hard because it might impact your relationship. Whereas a consultant, I did not do my job if I did not say that thing to you. You're literally paying me to say that to you. And we can deal with it. You can be mad at me. You can tell me to go buzz off for a couple days while you calm down. And then we can come back together and you can tell me if we're going to move forward or not.
Yeah, and that's a good position to be in because you're right. If you work in the HR department at a company, you gotta row with the boat. You cannot rock the boat because then you become the enemy quickly.
Yeah, you can rock it. It's just harder. And you have to make sure you're talking to the right people in the right way. And I've been in an organization, the last corporate job I had, that was hands down the best company I've ever worked for, and the leadership was outstanding. And they wanted you to come in and say, this doesn't work, or what if we did this, or wouldn't it be cool if we tried this? But that just isn't that common, unfortunately.
Right. No, it's
Unfortunately.
not.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I've had my dealings with HR, and in my presence, they made me feel like they understood they were going to take care of it, but then that never happened.
yeah,
Never happened.
yeah.
And you hear so much, don't ever go to HR with anything because they're not going to help you. The same people that sign your check sign their check. So
Mm.
that's the word on the street, so to
Oh,
speak.
oh, that just kills me when I hear that too, because what's so frustrating as an insider on that is that, like I used to say at one company, I am jumping up and down and screaming in these executive meetings, saying, please don't do that. Please consider how that's going to impact people. And they don't know that. I can't tell the employees that. I can't even tell my team that. I have to come out of that meeting as a unified member of that team and say, this is how we're moving forward. So I encourage anyone listening who has had a bad experience with HR and feels that way to consider that it's not the person who's not doing anything. We don't make the rules in HR. We don't. We impact them. We, by all means, hopefully are jumping up and down, screaming in those leadership meetings when we have a seat at the table and saying, this is the right thing to do and helping the leaders make the good decisions. But ultimately, we don't make the decisions. We're the facilitator. Hopefully we can be influential and have those great relationships and leadership, but you can't assume every time that they do. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yes, I can imagine it's very hard for many, especially if you're a person that love people,
Hmm.
genuinely love people. It is, I can imagine how that could be. Right.
Yeah.
So, Kelly, how do businesses connect with you if they want to work with you?
Thanks for asking. So I own Thrive HR, excuse me, but we just opened Thrive Leadership Partners. So Thrive HR is actually expanding into Thrive Leadership Partners, and we are in process of releasing that just within the next 30 days. So if you go to thrivelp.com, that is our website, and you can check us out. My email is kelly.price@thrivelp.com, and I am on LinkedIn as well. I'd love to talk to anybody about HR and how I can help.
Yes, I'm so happy to have met you, Kelly, because
Thank you, you too.
this is a topic I've never had the opportunity to talk about
Oh,
until
wow.
today. So I am definitely grateful to be talking to you about this and dispelling some of the things that happen in HR so that people understand it's not, like you said, it's not the HR representative, all race.
Right. Right. Sometimes it is. Absolutely. But it's not always. And if you're an HR person, I would also encourage you to remember that you're an employee too, because a lot of times we're trying to do for others and we forget to do for ourselves just like we're doing for others. So yeah, it's a great career, but it can be a challenging one at times. It also can be a ton of fun.
Yes, yes. So, question I have for you, why should leaders invest in what seems like a cost center? What-
Yeah. I mean, everything we just talked about, we can create change if you will let us. Let us in to the business and let us understand what you're doing, how you're making money, and what your growth goals are, because we can help you make sure you have the right people in the right seats at the right time. We can onboard them better. We can create better development programs. We can make sure that you retain that really top talent. We can help you make sure you're compensating them appropriately, that you have absolutely the best benefits out there that you can offer. And we can help raise up the people that want to grow in the organization and that you want to grow in the organization. Many times, like you said, managers come up through the org and they're not at the level they need to be at, and that's often because there's no development programs. No one's saying the old adage, you're a great salesperson, so now you're a sales manager. Well, that fails like 90% of the time.
Yes.
What are you doing to give that person leadership and management training? There are very few people out there who are natural leaders and just get it. Very few people. Leadership is a skill. You can listen to Simon Sinek talk about that nonstop on YouTube or on podcasts, but it's so extremely true. So, what are you doing to make sure that the people that you're putting in charge actually know how to be in charge and how to take care of people who are reporting to them and running your business? So
Yeah.
that's why we can increase revenue. We absolutely can help increase revenue if you let us do our job.
Yes. So your new piece that you're coming out with, can you say that again and tell us
Yeah.
what that's going to be about?
Yes, I'm really excited to expand Thrive HR to Thrive Leadership Partners. So my two business partners, we between the three of us, we have experience in human resources, operations, engineering, manufacturing, M&A, and group benefits, as well as executive leadership coaching. So we're going to offer all of those services now, not just human resources. And one of my partner, well, both my partners and I have worked together for many years, but one of them, we worked together at a former client, and it really became abundantly clear that when you have the right HR person and the right operations leader, you can take these programs that we've built and actually execute them through the entire organization. This is the person that I was telling you that we came in, and I was there for 3 years, and he came in as the COO. And we started working together and took the warehouse turnover from 200% to zero. We
Wow.
took, yeah, delivery and shipping errors from 50% to zero. Just huge changes because we were looking at the organization as a whole and saying, who are we hiring? How are we hiring? How are we training? Who are the managers? Do they have any idea how to manage? No. Let's get some new managers in here. Let's train them. Let's hold people accountable. Let's do regular reviews. Let's reward people better. Let's give them opportunities to grow. Let's compensate them when they do more. Huge changes. And it was so fun. And so we said, you know what? That company sold. We're like, let's go do that for other businesses and really get crazy. And then my other partner has a tremendous background in benefits and compensation. So we can look at the incentives piece. So now we're saying people plus operations plus incentives. That's our focus at Thrive Leadership Partners. So we're really excited to get out there and help lots of small businesses all over the US.
Yes, yes. And I love it because, I mean, you've covered everything that needs to be there in a company.
We're trying to. We don't do finance. We don't do marketing. There's those things, but it's all about knowing what you're good at and what you need to outsource
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. And I mean, just sitting here chatting with you, I can already feel the passion. I can already
Oh,
tell
thanks.
that you are committed to what you're doing and you believe in what you're doing. So
I
thank you
do.
for all of that, Kelly. Wow.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So again, please, how can people connect with you and your company?
Yeah, you can reach me on LinkedIn. It's Kelly Price. My company is Thrive Leadership Partners, and our website is thrivelp.com.
Wow. So I really, really appreciate you being here today.
My
And
pleasure.
audience, we appreciate you as well. And we got to do this again because this has been amazing.
I'd love to.
Thank you.